you all for supporting us financially or with prayers. But Aaron talked a little bit about the house. So, I mean, basically, like, what we had to do, we had to work on like a hillside. It was like on the mountain. And I was fortunate enough that I got to work at the top of it, so I didn't have to travel that far. But like Aaron and Eric, they were kind of like at the steep part of it, and I will tell something funny on Eric. Well, he told me to say that someone was talking to him, but he got handed 3 buckets, and I kind of could see, like I could see about from here up, and then all of a sudden it was just like, and he fell down. And then like it took him a while to get back up because he was laughing so hard. But yeah, that was a funny story. While we were working on that hillside and building the house, it's not uncommon for people to just kind of come around and start helping or watching, because obviously there's nothing really to do. They don't have TV or anything, so they kind of came and helped us. There's a lot of like younger boys that came and helped us, and so that was awesome to see. And I got to talk with the translator. With all the translators I've had the past 4 trips, like he's probably the one that's been most conversational. His name was Serge, and he was the closest to my age. He told me he was 20, and I was like, oh, well, that's cool because I'm 21. And he was more like wanting to know about my life, because usually you kind of have to get them to talk to you because you kind of want to know what they do on a daily basis, or what it's like to, live their life. But he was all about, like, I want to know what you do. And he had been to college, and he knew how to speak 3 languages. He knew Creole and French and English. And I told him he was smarter than me, and he was like, no. They don't think that, they think we're smarter, but in all honesty, sometimes I feel like they're smarter than us. Another thing was the crèche, which is obviously like my favorite part. So I've been, the past 2 trips that I've been, before this one, I went with the Door to Hope, and so I got to know the kids, and mostly the boys. That's where I mostly stay at. But if anyone knows, I talk about Marvin a lot. So it was nice to see him and come back every year, and he's growing. Yeah, he's growing, and he's saying Jesus loves me to me in English, and it's really hard to talk about it because I love him a lot. Like, he was my own kid, so it's really hard to talk about it. But the kids are always smiling and happy, and they're really great kids, and they're spoiled in their own way. I mean, obviously they don't get everything that they want. They don't have they don't get the one-on-one attention, but they have Americans come in there all the time, and they'll take your phone and they'll do everything with it. I mean, they know how to do things I don't even know how to do with my own phone. So, and sometimes they can be mean, because I had this one little boy, like every time I stepped in the crèche every day, he either pinched me or hit me, and then just looked at me and then walked away. So, they are mean. So they're not just sweet. They are kids. They're mean too. So, and then one more thing, and then I'll hush. Was about VBS. I normally, when I do VBS, I always volunteer as a teacher, but this year I wanted to do something a little different. But I wanted to work the big room, because that's where like all the games happen. You get to see the kids have fun. It's not just sitting there, just listening to the story. They're actually getting involved and getting competitive. So I wanted to do that. But like, there was a miscommunication, and only 58 kids showed up the first day. So Brent, our team leader, said that they must have, like, they have armbands. One was like yellow and one was like orange. So each color represented a different day. And so someone must have told them the wrong color on the wrong day. So we only had 58. So the first part of it, we just kind of sat there and talked. The second part, I worked with the younger ones outside, and they played blind volleyball, which they really didn't understand. They just kind of started kicking the ball, and I was really surprised that nobody got hurt, because, I mean, they really got into it. And then I also, another reason I wanted to do the to do the big room was because that's where the kids decide, they hear the gospel for the last time after, going through the rooms and stuff, and then that's when they make their decision. And I'm sorry. There was one little boy that like he got up, if they asked him who made the decision, and you could just tell it on his face. And so that was a blessing to me. So obviously I cried because I'm a crier. So yes, that was awesome to experience, and I was like, well, that's the reason that we're here. So even if I had been the only person that got saved, like that was, the whole trip was worth it. So second day I helped Erin in her room, so I was the teacher's helper, and I got to talk with her translator, Pepe, which that wasn't his name, that's just what we got to call him because we couldn't say his real name. But so he had a guitar, and Erin told him that I was a singer, so we started singing 10,000 Reasons, and then later on, while we were like waiting on the little kids, they were doing their crafts or whatever, and I told him, I was like, I know how to sing a song in Creole. I learned my first year, and he was like, oh really? And so I just started singing it, and he just grabbed his guitar, started playing it, and started singing it with me. Next thing you know, like the kids were singing it, and then the more translators came in, they started singing it, so it just, we all just were singing the song together over and over and over again, and it just kind of made me realize that, like, there's no language barrier in worship, so yeah, I'm done, yeah.